Hey guys, it's Mountain Walk, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about 3 Deuce. I am not going to say that again because it is the stupidest name for any Magic deck. Maybe not ever, but it's up there. That's a stupid name. This is Zoo. It's not some stupid name that I'm not going to repeat. It's dumb. Anyways, we're going to talk about this deck because it's pretty cool, regardless of the stupid name that it went by back in the day. Um, Actually, I think it might even been called PT Jank. I think it might have been PT Jank at one time, and then all because Junk was what we now know and still use as like the black, green, white sort of more aggressive-y kinda deck, not like the Rock, like a black, green, white Rock list, which is slower, but Junk was a little bit faster. And then Jank was just the red, green, white version, I think. I could be wrong. There's a lot of confusing stuff back in the day. A lot of stuff to keep track of. Anyways, we're talking about Zoo. I mean, this is Zoo. It's actually just Zoo. It's not this other name, which is stupid. It's really stupid, but that's okay. We have another perfectly serviceable name. Zoo, in case you actually don't know, was from the name of all the different creatures. You know, because you had lions and gorillas and all sorts of other stuff like that. Um, so that's why it was called Zoo. All these different animals in it. And so it basically combines, since it's red, green, white, it combines the best parts of Stompy and Sly and White Weenie, which is pretty cool. And because of that, it's a lot more flexible. You can run a lot more answers, a lot more varied kind of cards in your main deck. Um, and you can just run the best creatures. Sometimes these decks have to like dip into other creatures that are less good than what you'd rather be running. Sometimes, not always. But here you can pretty much just pick whatever you want. So, what do we want? We want this. This is what we're looking for. So, you got the for the creature base. Most of the stuff should not be too wonky. Savannah Lines, it's amazing. Grim Lavamancer, Monk Fanatic, Sky Shroud Elite, River Boa, just a singleton Dwarven Blast Miner for that nice um, uh, mana denial kind of thing going on. We got a little bit going on with our wastelands and stuff. Uh, Dwarven Blast Miner, pretty sweet. Also takes care of, say, nasty manlands and stuff under a standstill, so that's pretty cool. And for removal, I mean, just the best. Swords, Bolt, Incinerate, Naturalize. You can play Disenchant too, but I think we have like slightly more green sources than white sources. Or maybe, well, let's see. Yeah, slightly more. Not a huge deal. You could even split them up if you wanted to. That could be kind of useful. And we got other stuff, Sylvan Library, which is amazing. Should always be running one of those guys for the most part in your green decks. Rancor, of course. This is quite a pump spell. And Call of the Herd, because this is just one to be able to use more of my mana. Because I mean, the 3-color deck, you're gonna have to run just more lands in general, just to be able to support like 3 colors. At least in this format, you need more. You need all your fetch lands and everything else. You got your basics and all sorts of other utility lands and this and that and the other. So Call of the Herd takes advantage of that. And yeah, so we got basically, like I said, fetches, pains, uh, city brass, and then wastelands, of course, for mana denial, and treetop village is another due to sneak under, another due to sneak under like standstill, or just as a good use of mana. Sideboard, we got all sorts of stuff. Ravenous Baloth against, just as like if you need something to board in. It's good against typically just the red decks. Just a big old blocker. Take advantage of all the mana we got, and obviously life gain. Got the Enlightened Tutor stuff going on. It's pretty nice. Um, Warmth, Seal Cleansing, all that good stuff. And then after that, let's see, more Call of the Herds, Armageddon against board control decks, Null Rod against Tinker decks, things like that. All sorts of stuff. So yeah, nothing too weird there. Let's see here. Does that everything? Yep. Okay. Cool. So basically, um, we don't want to deal with big creatures. They're mean. They suck. So we're gonna plow them. So like where you might have to spend multiple things on dealing with big creatures and other aggressive decks, we can just plow them. We can just plow them. We don't even care about them. Big reanimated fatties, we're just gonna plow them. Just plow them. It sucks. They suck. And you know what doesn't suck? Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshares does not suck. And you know what also sucks? Control decks suck. Control decks suck a lot. That's why we got like Power Blast and stuff like that in the sideboard, because control decks really suck. And so that's why we're playing stuff like Treetop Village and Wastelands and Call of the Herd. And I guess to an extent, Curse Scroll as well. That just basically has applications everywhere. But Call of the Herd is really good because it's this 2/3/3s basically, so it requires more or less 2 counter spells, or 2 removal spells, or whatever, for them to deal with it. And so that's really sweet, and all sorts of other nasty hate for control decks in the sideboard. And the main deck, of course, we got stuff like Naturalize, which is good against stuff like Oath of Druids and all sorts of other nasty artifacts and stuff these decks can play. And so I really took advantage of the fact that we're gonna have to play a lot of lands to really be able to consistently get our colors. So we might as well be able to play additional things. And I think I was pretty set on playing Wastelands and stuff too. So even in matchups where Wasteland doesn't do anything, quote unquote, like Sly or something like that, you could just start using that mana to pump out elephants, which is great because elephants are sweet against their deck. And that's mostly the reason why I'm not playing Jackalpup main deck, is because I think Sky Shard Elite is basically Jackalpup against most decks. 1 mana, 2 power guy, but with no drawback. And of course, Jackalpup is a lot worse versus like a deck with burn and stuff, and it's really good against the combo control decks, of course. But it's quite a bit worse when people are blocking and stuff like that, or if they have big creatures, because then you can't even just like try and just try and force damage through blockers or whatever. If they block with their like 6/6 or something, you're going to be taking a ton of damage if they block your Jackalpup. So that's not the best way to race. Yeah, and we just want, like I said, we want to do stuff with our mana every turn. So we got 1 Treetop Village, a Curse Scroll, got a Sylvan Library that draws cards, got Grim Lava Mancer to deal damage, all sorts of things, Recast and Rancor, things like that. And so that's really important too, because it's just good to have something to do. Otherwise, not really any reason to play these decks. I mean, other than say like their monocolor variants. So I think going for like a more anti-control bent is a little better. And of course you can play something like a Sylvan Library 2 is pretty good in the board, or a Compost if there's a lot of nasty black decks, or Light of Day or things like that. I mean, gosh, there's just tons and tons of options. But yeah, I figured it'd be more important to carve out more of a niche. Is like, why would I want to play Zoo basically than these other monocolor decks are going to be more consistent and less painful? It's like, well, I can offer up all these interesting sideboard cards against all these different control and combo decks, and as well as I'm able to use all my mana efficiently, and like the a lot of the lands, they do things themselves. So that's pretty sweet, pretty good. And lastly, also, since I was saying, screw people that don't like stuff, if you don't like anime, you suck. I mean, that's basically it. Like, if you don't like JoJo, you suck. Why would you not like JoJo? Like, that's amazing. I mean, that's basically it. Like, that's all I really wanted to say. But yeah, this is a pretty simple deck. But yeah, I gave it more of an anti-control bent. That's about the only real twist on it, I think. Give it a little bit more land destruction, you know. A little bit Dwarven Blast Minery, a little bit of, oh, I guess you could even play something like Molten Rain or Stone Rain on the board or whatever. Or whatever green equivalent, like Thermokarst or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just spam damage on their stuff and swing with your dudes, and I mean, you get to play Savannah Lions. That's a pretty good 1 mana 2-drop. So yeah, you can't lose. And I mean, like like JoJo, like Jotaro always says, yada yada kaze, which is like, I don't know, good grief or something. That's how it's always. I don't know. Whatever. I'm getting too weebish. So that's it. That's it basically now, guys. So thanks for stopping by and have a great day.